What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Team Pizza Plays Renowned Explorers International Society. I, of course, am Whatthefnu.
And
I almost forgot my own name there for a second.
oh, I'm rubbing off on you.
No! It's...
And I, of course, am Orson Welles impersonator Drawman. Whatthefnu, how are you doing? That's more Tim Curry, actually.
Can we talk about how Tim Curry is a living cartoon character, by the way?
He is. It's delicious.
He should be in more... what has he been up to lately, I wonder? I don't... Anybody who knows me knows I haven't been keeping on top of, pop culture. Wow, I'm forgetting all kinds of words today, it looks like. Thanks in no small part to you, because all of my problems stem from you to begin with. We've established this. Except for the fact that you make this entire channel more entertaining, so, you take the good with the bad in some cases.
Exactly.
I noticed that, like, the way I tried to originally do this channel was, we'd just sort of be messing around with different series on one hand, and then every other day I'd also be posting more traditional style solo Let's Plays. People didn't watch those nearly as much as the videos we did together. Not even close. Like, the number, even with the small numbers we get on this channel right now, the difference was staggering.
Really?
So eventually I just broke it down to the idea, like, okay, well, people have spoken. Let's give them what they want.
Aw. That's nice. See?
I don't take it personally. Like, I like the idea of just... I find those types of channels more fun myself, like Super Best Friends Play or Super Beard Bros. I think I might be getting my channel names mixed up here, but...
I hope there's a Super Beard Bros, and I hope it's by the people who do Duck Dynasty.
There is a Super Beard Bros, but it's by the Completionist.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah, so... What, you don't want to see the cast of Duck Dynasty play their own game?
I want to see that.
That's just all the channel is. It's basically what we're doing with Renowned Explorers now, which, by the way, thank you everybody who keeps watching these videos and keeps looking forward to us putting out new ones. I can't believe this series has lasted as long as it has at this point.
Exactly. We really appreciate that. We appreciate you taking time out of your day and just enjoying our content. That's really all we really want to do, is just produce something that you will enjoy.
Man, this game is really complementing our aggressive approach, because this is the third group of pirates we've had to fight in, like, our third move on the board.
This game is basically going with the Samurai Jack formula. What do we want them to fight today? How about pirates? Do it! Like, did I ever show you that video that just showed how the Samurai Jack dudes do their show?
You have not, actually, but describe it to me.
Basically, they just put a bunch of random shit in a hat, draw that hat, you draw from the hat, and just go, robot, alligator, pigs, do it, let's have them fight it.
Really? That's how they actually did it?
Exactly. They were just thinking of the most random things from their childhood that they enjoyed, wrote them down on pieces of paper, and put them into a hat, and just said, "Oh, let's just take a moment, just sit there and let's draw from that hat." Oh, okay, robots, yeah. Animals, yeah, make them robot animals, yeah. And cowboy hats. Oh, let's give them cowboy hats, yeah.
Again, it's one of those things you think of, well, the most fascinating stories of where ideas come from are the ones where nothing was on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, that actually complements the writers more than anything else, if that's actually the case, because they could just take a random concept and still make it make sense within the context of the world and the overarching story as well.
Exactly. Like when they set out to make the show, they just said let's make the premise simple enough. It's good versus evil. In fact, they even showed Jack versus Aku in the red background, saying, yeah, it's literally white versus black over red. And let's just, include everything we loved as kids in the show. And then they would, show how they make the fight scenes and show that, yeah, this is good, but let's make that fight scene longer. It's too cool to make it short. And they all go, yeah, let's make it longer. Ooh, let's have this thing come out. Yeah, let's have Jack do this, and then he does that, and then Aku turns into this.
Mm-hmm.
You can describe their method of making each episode as how a kid plays with their action figures.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And they, let's see, and I think either they did this, or I'm going to confuse this with the Powerpuff Girls writing staff, but one of them, since this was the same production team essentially, that they would how when they made enemies, they would just pick random books and magazines, flip them to random pages, and just kind of throw darts at random words and say, "All right, this is our new enemy for the day."
And once again, the day was saved thanks to the dartboard. It's like one guy just puts Eldritch Abomination up on there, or something really risky like God or Sexual Predator, just to be a dick. And they're like, please, please, oh God, please, not today, I don't want to go there. You know, that makes sense. That's where that one episode came from. And it's like it lands on communist analog, and there's just this dead silence in the writing room. There's just this dead silence in the writing room as everybody goes, fuck.
Oh, the gnome episode. So that's the sad part. The gnome episode with the communism analog, that was essentially their last episode. And it was because at that point, the series had just hit a stale point where every episode had just become a terrible sitcom plot. Where it's like, what are the Powerpuff Girls doing today? Well, instead of, a fun, violent adventure that borders on a teenage to adult cartoon, let's have them mistake an actual Sasquatch for their uncle. Okay, do they fight it? No, they just followed around all day. That's kind of dumb. Yeah.
It's kind of, it's one of those things. Eventually a show runs out of steam, I accept that fact.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta retire the idea. It takes a lot of skill to know when that point is, too. Because you don't... it creates problems either way. Because in one direction, you're keeping the show from getting stale. You're keeping... running out of ideas being a problem. On the other hand, you might end up with a Chappelle Show situation, where you cancel the show too early and nobody ever forgives you for it.
Yep. Or you run into have you seen the entirety of Cowboy Bebop?
Yes, actually, so I know what happens at the end.
Yeah, basically, without spoilers, Cowboy Bebop ended in a way that if you left it that way, fans are going to hate you. But if you brought it back, fans will hate you even more because now you've taken forever to bring it back. And it's like, at least with Futurama, when they had their big movie finale with the Wild Green Yonder, they ended it in a way that... Well, actually, they ended it in a way that they could bring it back, but because Futurama has a history of leaving and then coming back, no one would be upset if it did just randomly, sporadically came back and left. Because that's what happens with the show in general.
It's one of those things, you can't plan that in advance. You really can't. Like, it's... We talk about the ideas of maybe... Hold on a second. No, I will not buy 4 supplies for 1 resolve. I will see what's on sale, though. An item. These are all items, not treasures. Dagger, glyph, or talisman. The dagger's probably the only thing that's going to really... suit us. Yeah, +2 attack power and +5 grit. That's good. I can leave with that. As a writer, you think about all these kinds of things. I think about these kinds of things. Like, all the situations that led to shows ending up the way they did. Like, all of the miracle magic scenarios that ended up having... an effect on what direction the show took, the attitude that the audience had. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, how can I do that on purpose?
Yeah.
It's really hard, though, because every situation is different. There are a million shades of gray, and even the best of glasses can't help you see it in some situations.
Because this actually comes to another fun topic. The Nostalgia Critic, he's doing, he does his theme months every so often?
Mm-hmm.
This month's theme is M. Night Shyamalan.
Ah, okay.
So his first video is, why do good directors go bad? And it's basically about, why do all these amazing directors, all these awesome movies make some real clunkers every so often? Why do they start sucking after a while? As such, it can be chalked up to the fact that when they made their real classics, they were still young and learning and had counsel and advice and help. And then, they make their hit and everyone's like, this is the best thing ever. Oh my God, this is the best director ever. This is the coolest thing. They get evangelized and idolized. And they start making their own studios. And a lot of people who gave them consults start going on other things. They don't have that help, especially now that they're seen as professionals and the best. And, people keep encouraging them. So when they make mistakes, they're thinking, well, I'm the best, right? I did the right thing here, right? Well, no, you didn't have that same level of help and advice, and well, you're doing what you did last time too. So
Yeah, that's something I tend to be very, very careful of. It's something a lot of entertainers on YouTube are very familiar with. The fear that one day you'll just become a smug bastard who feels like he can never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's the fear that you'll lose your way, like you'll stop caring about your work. You'll just start putting videos out there without really enjoying them, knowing that people will watch them anyway. It's like, no, I want to constantly challenge myself. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep improving.
In fact, a guy I watched named Plague of Gripes, he's confident in his work, but constantly wants to keep trying new things and wants to keep pushing himself, wants to keep trying, to improve. And that's one of the things he wants to encourage other artists, that they can surpass him and do better, try new things, keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's actually something that I heard Jim Sterling say not too long ago when he did the Jimquisition live. I think it was at SGC this past year. He said something like, how many people here actually have a YouTube channel? And a lot of people raised their hands, and he was surprised. Well, not surprised. He said, yeah, that it's amazing how many people are also doing the same kind of thing, and I guarantee you half of you are way more talented than I am. And that's something that I thought was kind of fascinating. The idea that even he admits, yeah, you guys could probably do my job better than I could.
And it has to be one of the most encouraging yet hard things for someone who's praised to say, when you think about it, to say that, oh, I'm good, people love what I do, but you can probably outdo me like no other.
Yeah.
In fact, Montiome, 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 one of the best one of the best fight choreographers I've ever seen. One interview, he said, "Yeah, I'm not an animator. I suck at it. I don't know why people keep saying, I'm a great animator. I kind of suck at it." For me to hear him say that was like, dude, you're what you make is gold.
You're clearly a genius. I want to know what goes on in your head.
It's like, teach me. Like, tell me how you make the souffle. Mine just turns into deflated air. Tell me how you do this. It's like, you understand, it's like, it takes a big person to admit that.
Yeah, it's stay humble, basically. Because there's also gray areas in this as well, is the other thing. Like, what is it? There's a particular word for it, the imposter syndrome, where you constantly believe that everybody is better than you are.
Oh, yes. Oh, God. So...
Yeah, and it actually is detrimental in that case because you're constantly underestimating yourself.
I will say I suffer from that greatly. It usually takes you, the producer, Tuna, so many others to help get me out of that, because a lot of times, because I want to keep improving and keep, improving, doing better and whatnot. But it's like so many times I look at another artist and go, oh, I could never do that. And, it takes a lot to get me out of that so I can at least try. In fact, that's another thing I love Plague of Gripes for. one of my favorite things he's ever said is, don't be afraid to try and fail. It's how you learn."
Yeah, that's the creator's mantra, is fail faster. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
sooner you figure out what's wrong with what you're doing, the sooner you can improve. And there is
Exactly.
going to be something wrong. In the words of Extra Credits, failing is how a bad game turns into a slightly less bad game, and then turns into a just okay game, then finally to good, and then at last to great.
Exactly. In fact, it comes back to all those directors. They made a bunch of clunkers, and then either someone finally got on them about it, or they just had a creative renaissance or whatever. But a lot of them more often than not come back with hit after hit. Like Shyamalan's latest film, The Visit, I heard actually did fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so to all of those aspiring, especially you and I and various others, I'd say, again, Plague had said it best. Well, a lot of them said it best. Don't be afraid to try and fail, fail faster. Just know where you are and know that at all times you are learning.
Yeah.
Always be the student, never the master.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
This has
little
been a
lesson.
downright inspirational episode, by the way.
It is, and it just took us coming together to take over the world to finally have this moment. So yeah, everyone out there, if you ever feel down, just take over the world. You'll feel a lot better. that's that's actually why Brain keeps trying to take over the world. Do you ever see that episode
Which one?
where he goes to the psychologist and we learn his backstory, that he's just angry that he got taken from his home in the forest, and the last thing he remembers is
Wait a bit, now that you're mentioning it, yeah, this is coming back to my memory. I
yeah.
remember that concept, but I don't remember a thing about it.
Yeah, what happened was Brain used to live in the little
Hold on a second. Excuse me?
what
You have a
happened?
shotgun, dude. You were at point blank range. How did you miss that? That was some Alpha Protocol levels of bullshit right there.
In the immortal words of Mushu from Mulan, "You missed! How could you miss? He was 2 feet in front of you!"
Captain Roche here has got to be really disappointed in this pirate right now. I'm not even going to knock him out. I'm just going to let him live with that decision. Wow. That's game logic for you, ladies and gentlemen.
to quote to quote Fumbles from the Robot Chicken G.I. Joe skit, "No, you live with it." I love Robot Chicken.
Nice. Well, despite suffering a supply penalty back there, we actually did pretty well on that expedition.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Got the amazing Titan again, some Amazon eggs, Roche's treasure, and look at all the gold and renown we're building up at the end here.
I assumed everything was just on fire, but no, we're actually doing well.
Yep.
No,
Look at all that gold! Not bad at all.
And you see, it just took us taking time to realize that we should subjugate the earth.
500 after the first expedition. We're on track so far. Do we want a new entourage hall or another equipment shop? I've already pumped a lot of gold into one equipment shop, so yeah. In Constantinople. I don't know the lyrics to that song at all.
No one knows the lyrics to that song. Actually, Lemmy Kilmister, God rest his soul, he's passed on. His song, the song he made for Triple H in wrestling, I remember I was watching a video of it with the producer, and you could just see Lemmy kind of just kind of moving his mouth with the recording of his own song. And we're just going, Lemmy's earned that. He's earned the right to just kind of go through the motion. Because if he could, he would sing it, but today just might be his best day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have a team that really complements the fighting dirty ability here. Like, the only ability we have that'll make enemies angry is her initial ability, Loudmouth.
Go on.
This is a great skill for Molly. I think I might have talked about it already, but not only does it give her extra evasion, but it pulls aggro to her, which might not be the best decision because she is not a very defensive character to begin with.
But she has a pole arm. How is that not good defensive range?
We might actually go with Fierce Backstab here, because most of the enemies will be... No... Because chances are they'll be surrounded by other dudes. No, especially not later on. I won't let that happen. Like, we'll mop up the small guys first. So yeah, we'll take Fierce Backstab.
Oh, speaking of which, Tim Curry's doing great. He had a stroke a few years ago, but he's fine. He's fine. He made a red carpet appearance. He's in a wheelchair. He's fine.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's one of those things, you know? I know a lot of performers just kind of have health problems here or there. I mean, I know opera singers are prone to heart attacks because of all the high notes and whatnot they have to reach, and it's a strain on the body.
Huh. That's actually a fascinating little observation that I didn't know about.
Oh yeah, you didn't know? Yeah, opera singers are sadly prone to heart.
That's sort of like when you figure out that... It's one of those things you don't think about at first, but... It's like when you figure out that football players are more prone to concussion-related problems. It's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's just... You just go, oh shit, damn.
What do you think we're going to encounter more of? Wits, technique, cultural, or nature? I'm probably only going to... I end up not taking a whole lot of wits or technique challenges. It feels like I see a lot more nature ones, but this is a rogue-based team, so we're probably going to go wits on this one.
Yeah, we're going to need them. Especially if we come across puzzles.
Our gold will acquire us better deals, so plus 33% renown from gold. Sounds good to me. I guess we figured out what our build for this run is going to be. Just money, 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 and kill everybody.
To quote Scrooge McDuck, more money, more problems.
No, more money, fewer problems. That's what my life is like right now. That is bullshit. Sneaking, merciless, surprise, and she learns bluffing. Sneaking, merciless, surprise, and bluffing. She doesn't know mischief, so I think we could actually take this guy right here. Renowned Explorer Goodmund.
What's bullshit is how everyone and their mother just made a skit about how Scrooge would break his skull jumping into a pool of money. It's like, yeah, we know. Shut up. We enjoy the cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Yeah, what are you... Why are you making a big deal out of this?
It's like I heard it in passing from the Nostalgia Critic, but he was just giving an intro of the show. Then I think Crack.com took a whack at it. Then Animation Domination did a scientifically accurate DuckTales including that. Then Family Guy did a skit about it where Peter jumps in and he breaks every bone in his body. He's like, it's not a liquid. It's a
sort
great
of
mini, a solid matter that when together forms a solid floor-like surface.
People tend to jump on each other's jokes, I've noticed. Like, the internet is really good at that. Like, especially, like when Arkham Knight came out, I won't name names, but a particularly famous actor pointed out the fact that Batman Bruce Wayne is just a rich person who's beating up all of the poor people with his vast amounts of wealth.
Yeah.
And then everybody seemed to just clue into the fact because they were all making fun of it now.
Oh, yeah. It's like, again, Crack.com, they do their little after-hour segment where a lot of their head writers get together at a restaurant and talk about stuff. One of them was like, yeah, Batman, he just spends all his money beating up criminals and poor people, when instead he should be using that wealth to, make jobs and help the economy. I mean, then Dorkly jumped on that, and there was a criminal like, oh, if only some rich guy would just, invest their money in the economy and job market, which research has shown has been proven to decrease crime.
And Batman swings in and kicks him, yelling, I fucking love being rich!
No, that's the best part. He's telling this to Batman after Bat. He's telling this to Batman, including his
And you can just see the sweat beads forming on his forehead. My entire reality has been challenged.
Oh no, they do that in another skit. No, this Batman just ignores the shit out of it. He's just like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
Alright, but...
But yeah, it's like everyone jumped on that joke.
Yeah. Oh boy. Speaking of jumping on things, next time on Team Pizza Plays Renowned Explorers International Society, we will be hopping into the Egyptian expedition and seeing what amazing things we can encounter in the sands of the desert. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu.
We better encounter the Scorpion King.
Maybe. It's entirely possible. I mean, I haven't discovered everything in this game yet. So, okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. If we end up becoming like the Northern Lion or the Cryotic of Renowned Explorers International Society, where we end up having like 100 episodes just trying to 100% the game and take on daily challenges and different fan provided teams and whatnot, I'd be down with that.
You know, yeah, I'd like that. I'd like us to be the ones trying to figure out, okay, if we attack the dragon the second its flame hits us, we can unlock a secret mode where all the characters are naked.
And we will see. But only time will tell if that'll be the case. So if you want that to be the case, we will see you again next time, everybody. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu.
And I'm Drawman.
And we'll see you again then. Later, everybody.
Later.